So, hello, everyone, and welcome back to Divine Rebel. My name is Racy. This message is for Cancer and those with strong or significant Cancerian placements in their chart for the month of April. So, Cancer. We got the Nine of Cups, Nine of Chalices on top, with the King of Wands on the bottom. We have the Page of Swords, clarified by the Two of Swords, the Seven of Wands, clarified by the Hanged Man, and the Tower, clarified by the Hermit. So, Nine of Chalices is about a wish being granted. And the King of Wands is about mastery of spirit and willpower. Okay? Your ability to choose change. Your ability to morph and manifest better through sheer will. All right, this is about a wish that is potentially being granted because of your mastery of willpower, right? To have that wish granted. The Page of Swords clarified by the Two of Swords. I got this energy because in the Page of Swords, you can see this huge wing coming off. And in this deck, it's this mother goose. Okay, this angry looking mother goose. And there's all these butterflies flying at the person wearing the mask with the sword, who looks like they're, in defense mode. Okay, and I got parent. It's mother goose, but I didn't necessarily feel like it was a mother per se. I mean, it could be, but it could be a parent, and not necessarily your parents, but just someone who is a parent and has children. And it's just the word I kept hearing in my head when I pulled the cards, parent. Someone has gone through a major transformation. Could be you, but I feel like it's a parent that went through a major transformation, and you yourself are being defensive, okay? And the mask that this character is wearing is a facade. It's an illusion. It's not who you really are or who you intend to be in the long run. This defensive person. With the Two of Swords underneath, they're swiping their swords at a butterfly. So I think, and take it how it resonates for you, because there's multiple different ways that I'm getting these energies, even though they're all kind of similar. I feel like someone has either gone through a huge transformation and you're fighting your own transformation, or you're claiming to have truly transformed yourself when really the reality is you're still fighting your transformation. Okay. So someone's gone through a huge transformation, but there's also a transformation being fought. It's not as big a transformation as I think you think it is. Okay. Especially if you yourself think you have completely transformed and you're so different now than you were before and blah, blah, blah. When you haven't necessarily shifted, okay, as much as you think you have. Or someone else is showing you a huge transformation that they've gone through. You're seeing that they're very different from who they used to be, and you're not keeping up the pace. You're not transforming at the same speed. Like they have fully transformed, and you're still fighting your own transformation. So, with that said, the Seven of Wands is clarified by the Hanged Man. Now, the Seven of Wands is typically a card about self-defense, right? Defending the self, standing up for the self. But in this deck, this particular deck is the Prismavision Tarot. There's a figure jumping across the water over these posts, right? Sticking out of the water, these wands sticking out of the water. Because under the water, they're getting eaten alive by piranhas. The Hanged Man in this deck, it's a headless person with blood in the water, and there's piranhas eating the actual figure alive. This is what's going on below the surface. I think you're hop, skipping, and jumping over something because you know that underneath you're dealing with an internal nightmare that's eating you up inside. Okay? You're trying to stay on the surface because you don't want to get deep. You feel as if it's a nightmare to get deep, but I think what's really going on is that you have to address the fact that there's piranhas under there. You have things that are eating you alive in your mind. And you're not, this is where you might be challenging your transformation. You're not actually facing what needs to be faced. I think you're trying to avoid it. Okay? Instead of handling the actual problem, you're trying to avoid it. The problem is what's below the surface. It's dealing with your demons. Okay? And what I got was Yoda, right? I got baby Yoda, and I thought about Yoda, and I was like, what is that one quote? It's like, do or do not. There is no try. So if you're like, well, I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to do that, I'm trying to do this better, or I'm trying to blah, 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 like, cut the word try out. Either you're doing it better or you're not. You're doing it or you are not. There's no such thing as try. You're either doing it or you're not doing it. You're either transforming you and your reality or you're not. So what are you doing? What are you doing? What needs to be done? What needs to be done? Because you quote unquote trying, you're not actually doing it, are you? You're struggling. If you're trying, you're struggling. You're anticipating failure. You're anticipating the worst case scenario, which is preventing you from doing anything. Thinking about the worst case scenario is preventing everything you need to actually fucking do. This is what needs to be addressed. You can't say you're a fully transformed fucking person when you're fighting your transformation, quote unquote, trying. Trying what? Do or don't do. But trying is bullshit. Trying is a bullshit word. You're either doing it or you're not. Where's the definitive, Cancer? You can't get lost in your emotions. Your emotions are not going to help you. Your emotions being all kinds of erratic and whatever, it's not going to help you. This isn't where Cancer has to let their over emotions take control. No, you got to grab your emotions by the fucking balls and be like, no, I'm in control of you. I'm in control of my emotions. I'm going to handle this. I'm doing it now. I'm doing it. Whatever it is that you need to do that you've been terrified of because of all the what if worst case scenario bullshits running around that get you all kinds of emotionally crazy. It's emotional. Whatever it is, whatever your worst case scenario is, you're afraid it's going to rip your heart apart. Stop. The only thing that's going to rip your heart apart is you, quote unquote, trying to dodge things, trying to avoid things. You've got to face what's going on in your subconscious below the surface, your emotions below the surface. So you got to ask yourself, what are you so afraid of? It can't be worse than being eaten alive inside your head. It can't be worse. You can deal with everything else going on outside of you, but you obviously can't deal with whatever is going on inside of yourself that is eating you alive. We got the Tower card clarified by the Hermit. You can't get control of yourself. You're gonna find yourself in the dark night, dealing with it on your own by yourself. No one wants to hop on crazy train with Cancer in their emotional distress who's eaten alive inside by all the crap going on in their head and how it affects them emotionally in the outer experience. Your problems are not someone else's problems. It's not their monkeys, not their circus. Your piranhas are your fucking piranhas. You got to deal with them. You got to stop letting yourself be eaten alive inside your head. You got to stop thinking worst case scenario, nightmare scenario. That's ridiculous. I'm telling you right now, Spirit is telling me it's ridiculous. Your worst case scenarios, you got a wish trying to be granted, and you need the willpower to override. Someone, especially if you're dealing with a parent, someone who has kids, they've gone through a crazy transformation. They are not the same person. They're much better than they were. You're still fighting your own transformation. And swiping at it with swords like you're trying to kill your... No, you're trying to kill your transformation. No, you're wearing a mask. You're wearing a mask to hide the fact that you're being torn up inside about something. You're putting on a happy face because underneath you don't want anybody to see what's really breaking you down inside. Instead of trying to hide what's breaking you down, address what's breaking you down. Fix it. Do it. Do whatever you need to do to fix it. Worst case scenario is not going to happen. You're just terrified. It's just memory, terrified. But doesn't make it real. Just because you think a worst case scenario could happen doesn't mean it's happening or will. Cancer, you got to get this shit under control. Whatever this is. Whatever this is. You've got to face it. Anything below the surface definitely has to do with things from the past that need to come up to the surface. Well, how do you get all the piranhas out of the water? I don't know. Drag a fucking net across the entire fucking lake and drag them onto the land. Because they can't survive there. Fish them out. Throw them on land. Now you ain't got piranhas in your lake anymore. You got to bring it to the surface. You certainly can't poison your waters. You can't poison yourself to kill whatever it is going on below the surface. These are your waters we're talking about. We're not meant to make it toxic. But you should be able to swim freely in your heart space and feel good about the things that you've been through in your past that helped you transform into the person that you are, that your past was necessary. Your past and everybody else's was necessary for the present day and the future y'all are building. You want to create a happy home? You want to have all the lights on inside yourself? You got to rise, honey. You got to rise and stop feeling like you're alone. You're not alone. Hermit card, you're not alone. You're alone if you make yourself alone. You're not in this alone. You might have another parent that the past is triggering for you, that you don't want to bring them back into your reality because the past, that parent or who you co-parent with or co-parented with comes back and you're afraid they're the same person. No, they're a completely different person. You are the same person. Looking at them like they're the same person. What if they're the same person? What if it's this nightmare? You're creating the nightmare, Cancer. You gotta know, I'm calling it straight out. I know a lot of Cancers. A lot. It is up to you. It is up to you. God knows I'm a Cancer moon and Cancer rising. You got to figure out what it is going on beneath the surface and pull that shit up. Address it outright. Talk about it. Get it done. Do better. Don't try to do better. I'm trying. No, do it. Do it. Do it. What's stopping you? What's your excuse? Piranhas? Take care of your piranhas then. Get them the hell out of Dodge so that you can enjoy your life. So everybody else can do the same. Handle your demons. Do or do not, but don't try. It's bullshit. Magic of the Kohellan Druith and Call of the Dancing Crane are the guidance cards for April. The Magic of the Kohellan Druith is a card of caution and being wary that something or someone is stealing your energy, destroying your magic. And you've got help. You're not alone. You're defensive. Well, I feel this and I feel that and I'm afraid of this and I'm afraid of that. Who the fuck is taking your magic away that you are not calling in your solution? What are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? Really sit and ask yourself that question. Why? Why are you afraid? You've got solutions. You're only alone if you believe you are. Call of the Dancing Crane. Let me just read a bit of this for you because it's talking about cranes live in marshes and swamps. And we're talking about this person, right, in the Seven of Wands, jumping across these waters because they're terrified of going deep. Right? Dancing Crane moves through waters and muddy marsh with elegance and grace. The mating call and dance of the crane is full of beautiful movement and flow. There are times when the astral waters of our emotional life become stagnant and will benefit from the healing movement, grace, and beauty of the dancing crane. The call of the dancing crane is a reminder that sound can be healing too. This is particularly so when your thoughts, beliefs, and emotional patterns do not support you in living the spiritual destiny you were born to live. Have you ever felt like you were a different person on holidays or when you were traveling? This is because you were free of the astral gravity that you usually live within on a day-to-day basis. The astral plane is like glue. When we put enough energy of habit into thoughts, emotions, beliefs, and stories from our past that condition how we interpret current life experiences, we can get stuck in astral gravity, unable to let go of ways of thinking and reacting, even if we really wish to do so. If you wish you could feel better, if you wish you could be happy, if you wish you could be carefree, if you wish things were easy and there was plenty and enough, stop being in your own way. Stop letting your nightmares dictate what the fuck you do. Live in the vibration of freedom from all that shit. Whatever the shit is. Live in the vibration of freedom from it. Focus on your freedom. Focus on the people that have fully transformed and embracing them as a part of your solution. Don't get stuck trying to dodge things or avoid things because the problem's not going away if you're avoiding it. And it's your problem to deal with, no one else's. You got to get over yourself. You've got to forgive yourself. You got to accept your own transformation. Major. So I hope this helps. I hope this helps you for April. Because I feel like if you don't get it under control, you're going to find yourself feeling like you are alone. And nobody wants to actually help you because you've been stubborn in doing and you've been making excuses with trying. I want to, but not yet. You've been making excuses and quote unquote trying. So nobody wants to help you because it's just bullshit. It's just bullshit excuses to everybody else. So do it. I hope it helps. Till next time, guys, I love you. Bye.